Ham Tech Guy, today I'm back out with another PC build. Today's PC is going to be a $650 gaming PC, and this PC is going to be great for all 1080p gaming. On basically any game you throw at it, you're going to be able to run it at almost max settings or max settings at over 60 FPS, and you can also do some 1440p gaming on lowered settings or on certain games with high settings or maxed out settings. It just depends on what games you're playing and what settings you're playing at, on what frame rate you'll get. So yeah, this is a great starting PC, and if you build this PC, you're going to have a hell of a machine. So starting off this build, we have an Intel Core i5-4460 3.2 GHz quad-core processor. This is $175 right now. This is probably one of the best CPUs you can get right now for the money. It's basically an i5-4690K, but it's not overclockable, and it does have a lower clock speed, and that's not really a big deal. Clock speed doesn't determine a whole lot. It kind of, I mean, it may give you a little bit better performance when multitasking, but as far as gaming performance goes, it's not really going to affect it that much. Obviously, the GPU is basically the powerhouse for gaming, so your CPU is just going to be able to run everything on your computer. And some downsides to this CPU, I would say, is the fact that it's quad-core and it's not multi-threaded, so if you want to live stream, it's not going to be very good for that, as I do have an i5 myself that's not multi-threaded, and it kind of sucks because when most games I play, I have to lower my my stream settings to actually be able to use it without getting skipped frames or anything like that. But it's still an all-around good CPU for the money, and yeah, this is probably the best thing you can get for $175. So next up we have the motherboard, and for the motherboard with the Gigabyte GA H97M D3H. This is a great motherboard for the money. It's $80 right now, and it's probably the best motherboard you can get for the money. You get a lot of features, and it's basically everything you'll need in a motherboard, and you should be fine with this for a while. But some of the features it includes is 6 set of 6 GB ports, 4 RAM slots, up to 32 GB of RAM, RAID support, Crossfire support, 6 USB 2.0 ports, and 2 USB 3.0 ports. So yeah, it's a really good motherboard. It has a lot of features, and it's really good for the price. Next up we have the RAM, and for the RAM with the Crucial Ballistic Board 8 GB, 264 GB, running at DDR3 1600 MHz. This is $40 right now, and I mean, as I said a lot in my other videos, RAM prices have really been dropping, and any kind of RAM that you can get that's like Crucial or Corsair that's around $40, just get it. I mean, it's gonna be good RAM, reliable RAM. Don't get anything under $40 because that's usually generic branded RAM. Unless it's actually something of this type of RAM, then I would get it. If you're gonna be looking for good RAM, then go for Crucial, or I guess you can go Corsair. Kingston is pretty good too. But yeah, I would recommend one of those three. Whatever you can get for the cheapest, I would go with. And yeah, you won't really need more than 16 GB of RAM right now because you don't really get better performance in games with it. Even though Star Wars Battlefront did recommend 16 GB, you won't really notice much of a difference. Maybe 1 or 2 frames if you're lucky. But if you want to upgrade in the future, you always have that option. So keep that in mind. So next up, we got the storage, and for the storage, I went with the Western Digital Caviar Blue 1 TB. There is no SSD in this build, as this is not really a budget build, but it's not the most expensive build, and if you want to get really great performance in games, I had to cut back and take out the SSD and get a really good GPU in this build. So yeah, I had to cut back on not getting an SSD, but the Western Digital Caviar Blue is still a really good hard drive, and it's pretty darn fast. Not as fast as an SSD, obviously. What I would recommend if you do have a little bit of extra money is to go ahead and get a Seagate 2 TB, because I myself, I have a 1 TB hard drive, a 320 GB hard drive, and a 250 GB SSD. With all that stuff that I have, I actually kind of am running out of room, and I've only had this computer for like 3 months, so yeah, that's kind of bad. But yeah, I would definitely get a 2 TB if I were you, if you have extra money, and I would go for the Seagate if you're gonna get a 2 TB. So next up, we've got the PowerColor PCS Plus Radeon R9 380. This is a really good GPU right now for the money. It's $200, as well as there's a $20 mail-in rebate if you want to use that, so you can get it for $180. And another thing that's great about this GPU, it's actually the 4 GB edition. So $180 if you use a mail-in rebate for a 4 GB GPU is actually really good, and it's also running at GDDR5. Yeah, it's really, really good for the price right now. And if you want to get a GTX 960, you can, but a lot of the GTX 960s, just for the 2 GB models, is around $200 or over. So this is definitely a lot better for the money right now. But if you do want, I guess, NVIDIA side for like Shadow Play or GeForce Experience, then you can get NVIDIA or get a GTX 960 for around the same price. And I guess whatever you want, you can get it. With this GPU though, you're going to be able to, like I said, run basically every game at 1080p, some games at 1440p, and it's a really good GPU with that 4GB of GDDR5. It's going to be kind of essential now to have over 2GB in the newer games that are coming, as I do use a lot more video RAM to run the games at higher resolutions and higher settings. So yeah, 4GB of GDDR5 is great for this price, and I would definitely go with this over the GTX 960 if you can bear in mind not having NVIDIA Shadow Play or GeForce Experience. So next up we've got the case, and for the case I went with the Cooler Master N200. This is a great case for, it's about $44 right now, and there's also a $10 mail-in rebate, so if you want to use that, then you're getting it for like $35. It's a really good case, comes with a lot of features. It's got a maximum number of SSDs of 4, maximum number of HDDs of 3. It's also got a couple of fans included, one in the front and one in the rear, and it's also got support for, I believe, 4 more. So yeah, it's pretty spacious too. It's a mini ATX tower, but it's still pretty spacious, so you'll have plenty of room to fit everything in there. The only thing that I don't really like about this is it doesn't have a side panel. I mean, but the color scheme of this build is kind of ugly, so to be completely honest, you probably don't want a side panel. But yeah, it's a really good case for the price, has a lot of features, and you guys will probably like it, especially coming from Cooler Master. They're a really good company for cases, and yeah, you guys will probably like it. So next up we have the power supply, and for the power supply with the Thermaltake Smart 550 watt 80 plus bronze certified ATX power supply. This is $54 right now. That's a really good price for the amount of wattage this has. The only downside I'd probably say about the wattage is if you want to crossfire the GPU, you're going to have to upgrade the power supply. But 550 watts for $54 is a really good price. As well as Thermaltake being a really reliable company, you'll be fine with the power supply for a while. And yeah, that basically wraps up the build, guys. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this. 650 watt gaming PC. It's going to be great, as I said, for you first time builders. And it's just a really great PC overall. So yeah, guys, that's basically the whole video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll be uploading some more PC builds soon. Hopefully you guys are enjoying them. And yeah, I'll see you guys all next time. Peace out.